Hello, beautiful, magical souls. This is Radha on Galactic Goddess Podcast and TV, coming to you from Prague. I finally made it here, and this show is called Your Starseed Mission. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the idea that as many people are starting to awaken to themselves, to, I would say, like their spiritual purpose, we are understanding that we are here for a reason. It's not just a coincidence. This is a very special, particular time in history that we have all come together in this timeline. And remember, the universe is vast and great. There are many timelines. Now we understand that this timeline affects other timelines, and other timelines affect this timeline. So I want to tell you a little story. I told you yesterday about being in Vienna, how I was what I would call being stationed in Vienna. And it was not on my itinerary at all. I was going through Switzerland, and I got a text message that said, your flight's been canceled and you're going to be going through Vienna. So I go through Vienna, and then my flight is canceled. The airport shuts down. I'm basically stuck there for 2 days, 2 full days, because I went in the morning. I didn't leave till the next day in the evening, very late. 4 flights canceled. And, this could be very upsetting, right? But when you look at things from a different perspective, and what I would call part of the Starseed Mission, is that we're here to spread our light. I had talked about how we have codes inside of us. You see, everyone is an instrument, right? Humans are instrument for the divine, and humans can be an instrument for darkness. We live in a world where many people have not understood their higher purpose, have been just going with society norms, and have been unconsciously being used by dark forces. This is very tragic, because ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is pain, suffering, entrapment, soul entrapment. It is giving away your life force energy without knowing it. It is feeding demons. And although there is a sector in the society, a big, very vast sector of people that think serving the dark gives them power, they are in fact wrong. This is only borrowed with interest. And it's not sustainable. A lot of beings created war, used war, oppression, pain, and suffering to control, to dominate. By oppressing others, they were able to rise. So they thought. There's the catch. So they thought. But despite the fact that this may be a holographic universe, everything is accounted for here. Everything. That's why healers understand, once they learn about the Akashic records, everything is recorded. Every action, every deed, every thought, every interaction. This isn't going to be taught to people in society. Instead, there are just two sectors. It's black and white. One where we just follow religion, and the other where people are anarchists, or they are following the path of Satan or darkness. And so this creates more duality. And, I didn't understand all this, of course, until I really stepped into my healing journey and decided that it was important. That I was tired of all of these unconscious pain and manipulation. I was tired of the coding that I had in my DNA that was not serving, that was artificially manipulated. And that I didn't want to go with that program anymore. I always felt like I didn't belong here. Like I felt like I was stationed here. I felt I had a higher purpose, but I couldn't understand what it was. There's no direction, You're taught to be normal. You're taught to go and do normal things, to not question, to not reflect. There are two ways of thinking, choose which one. And so what happens when you step out of the paradigm of the two? It's ascending beyond duality. Like my book, Galactic Goddess, Ascending Beyond Duality. So, I had, from a very early age, this divine connection to the cosmos, to light beings, to magic, but not people think when you say magic, they immediately think dark. The thing is that this whole world is magical. And when we can lighten our energy and move a bit higher than the lower frequency density, we can access this. And it's normal to fluctuate between both, because most of this consciousness, this realm, is really in the density. So, over the years, I've been doing a tremendous amount of healing. I dedicated a decade of my life to this work. I don't think that makes me better than anybody, because it doesn't. It just makes me more attuned to the different realms. And it's a choice, right? Everything is a choice. So we can choose at what level we want to be, energetically speaking. Experiences like yesterday lower your frequency. They can, because the chaos and all the people. I'm an empath, so it's hard for me to be around like hundreds and hundreds of people all the time. And I was at the airport for 2 days. But my first impression of Vienna was this heavy darkness. And I'm not talking about the city or the people. I mean, the energetic vibration that I tuned into was that of, it was very dense, very heavy. And I had forgotten, I hadn't thought about Vienna ever, really. Of course, you know, in history, we know Hitler comes from Vienna. There's a dark history there, a lot of darkness. War leaves energetic imprints. Just like the Trail of Tears, where I call my second home in the Appalachian Mountains. There is a lightness and there is a darkness simultaneously there, right? Because blood is a sacrifice. What people should know is that war is a human sacrifice. And not for the benefit of humans, for the benefit of dark. Many times we get manipulated into other people's storylines. They make up stories and pull everyone into them. Now, this is propaganda. We've been taught to be very obedient to the news, to the sources, and they talk about false news. But what if most of these newspapers are owned by those who are manipulating the storyline? Not everything is as it seems. It takes a different kind of intelligence to understand that. An uncomfortable feeling, very uncomfortable to know that much of this reality has been manipulated, forged, artificially created reality. Artificially created because when you get enough people to believe something, it becomes real. And so, being in Vienna, I felt very much that it was very dark there. I had nice conversations with people. I'm not saying anything about the people, you guys. I'm talking about the energy field, morphogenic field, the ley lines. A lot of ley lines get manipulated. I don't know if you know that. They actually put either induce trauma on certain ley lines or control ley lines. The ley lines are all over the world. And this affects us deeply because we're going through such transformation and ascension. more light codes are coming onto Earth. You can choose to be a carrier of higher light codes. Okay? You can choose this. You can talk to Creator about it. You can go get activations. You can go get healings. I mean, I've gotten hundreds of healings. I've done hundreds of healings. I've had hundreds of clients. Every time I work with a client, I'm also getting reactivated. This is one of the great things about this work, is that because I'm not pulling from my own, I'm connecting with source, and that source comes through. I'm a vessel. I'm a conduit. It doesn't mean that I'm a perfect person. I have my own stuff. I have tons of stuff I'm working through, that I have been working through, releasing a lot of dark energies from my lineages, artificially induced darkness. It's important to understand that, we have our human self that is, I got very annoyed at this situation. I was just having a headache over it. It was just a lot. But then my higher self is letting me know, you're here for a reason. You've been stationed here. It's a divine assignment, part of your soul mission, that you need to be here. You are helping bring your frequency. And it's not like my frequency. It's a creator. Because I am a starseed, I'm a volunteer. Therefore, I am put places where I need to be. And my frequency vibration does resonate that with the light codes, with the goddess codes. Okay, and this is important. Very important, because the goddesses help. They're coming back online. They were kicked off online. Now they're coming back. And I'm a carrier of the goddess codes. I'm the creatress of goddess activations. So what does that mean? Do I think I'm special or better than everyone? No, absolutely not. What it means is that I have been assigned to be part of this shift in my sector, which is the goddess activations. So I carry the resonance of goddess activations very much in my morphogenic field, in my DNA, in my light body. I trigger people who are very much stuck in the patriarchy system. I trigger people. It is not because I want to. I prefer not to. But my field triggers people. Because when two morphogenic fields come into contact, there's an energy exchange. My codes, my energy, it's rubbing against the belief system of the darkness. The patriarchy was created to keep the feminine down. The female and the divine mother. I believe it was Sacred Romeo that said that, it's the mother, the father, and the Holy Spirit. And it's like this. He's wonderful. He does light language. Like this. And we have been moving, the duality has created this. So there's no space to grow. The goddess is this, expansion. The goddess is the circle, is the spiral. Now, this spiral has been used as a symbol. Of course, all sacred symbols have been stolen by uncreative dark forces who have no originality. Even the swastika does not belong to the Nazis. They're just so unoriginal. They have no creativity. They are not online with source. Therefore, they have to steal life force energy. They have to steal ideas, creativity, children, women, human trafficking. It's all part of that. Because when you cut yourself off from source, you got nothing. Now it's like you just took yourself offline and you're trying to create your own online grid. But you need to suck the resources from everything around you because you're depleted. I wouldn't recommend that. Everyone has their free will. For many years, I felt disconnected from source, abandoned, unloved. But that was just because of my experiences that I had that led me to have these false beliefs. I find that many like hardcore healers like myself, I was talking to Aramea, which is where I'm staying at her house in Prague. She's a Starseed co-author in Awakening Starseeds. We were talking last night about being a hardcore healer. Those that are hardcore healers have been through the most, had to go through darkness. You don't get to do this if you don't take the hero's journey. Many people don't want to. Many people haven't. There's nothing wrong with that, because this is for people that want to, that have, that it's their life contract. It's because we have to understand the darkness so that when we come back into our light, we can navigate. Had we not gone through and walked the path of darkness, we would not know the difference or how important the light is and how we affect energy. Condemnation, spiritual judgment, all of this created by the dark. So you would stay in line, so you could judge others. But this is not spiritual. This is not part of the healing path. That's why hardcore healers do not judge. We understand everyone has their path and that it is important for their soul journey. I know everyone has a different soul contract that's not the same as mine. I'm not here to judge that. Things that I will judge: abuse of children, abuse of animals, abuse of human rights. Okay? And I won't judge, I'm going to stand. I stand up against that because this is not okay. A light worker is not passive. They don't just say, love and light, and just let things happen. Okay? That's for cowards. Cowards. And we're not cowards. Okay? We stand firmly. And we stand up and say, no, it's not right. That takes courage. Okay? Courage is cultivated. Courage is cultivated through hardship, overcoming again and again and again. The people I trust, that I look up to, are people who have been through the most. You don't have much to say if you haven't gone through a lot. And I don't wish that for anybody. I don't wish that upon people. But the people I resonate the most with in my life, that I feel connected with, are those that have gone through great hardships, have had to overcome many things. In other words, they have had many initiations through the dark and through the light. Okay? So, I am an initiate of the dark to light, dark to light. But my path started in the light. I was always part of the light, and I am firmly in the light. Does that mean that we don't, have darkness too? Of course, we are light and dark. I do own my darkness, but owning your darkness, let me explain something, does not mean going out and harming people. It is owning your shadow. Big difference. When you own your shadow, you can own your light. Let me repeat that. When you own your shadow, you can own your light. And only if you don't own your shadow, you cannot fully step into your light. So let's go back to Vienna. And so I was just at the airport, just mind boggled how flight after flight was canceled. Couldn't believe it. My original flight was going through Switzerland. And then finally there was a flight in the evening that went through Switzerland and to Prague. Long story short, there are no short stories here. Long story short is that I came to understand that my presence was my signature and morphogenic field, my goddess activation field, was so unique to this place that I was there to embed and encode. Okay? Soul mission. And a lot of our soul missions, we don't know that we have them, right? We get divine ideas, like my idea to create awakening star seeds. That's part of my soul mission. But there's another part, and that's when we travel, we carry our codes with us wherever we go. So this was part of my journey. And of course, it was extremely frustrating, extremely upsetting, exhausting, because, being around all that energies, it drains me, because I'm not a vampire. So I don't actually feed off of other people's energy. I'm the opposite. I use my own energy. And the thing is, like, I'm an empath. So a lot of people, they would like to feed off of that energy, because and when I'm around a lot of people, it's a little bit harder for me to get into my zone. So that's why I love peace and quiet. But traveling is part of my soul contract. It's part of why I'm here, to bring these goddess activations around the world. I don't actually have to be doing big conferences. All I need to do is go into a town and walk around. I'm already shifting the morphogenic fields. And for those that want to say, oh, who do you think you are? I think I'm a starseed. And again, doesn't make me any better than anybody else. It's what I'm here for. People can take it how they will. If people have reactions, which they do, and they think, oh, you're bragging. Honey, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling the truth. And if you think that's bragging, you got to work on your own shadow. Okay? Okay, everybody's got to work on their own shadow. You can't project yours onto me. I learned a long time ago not to take on other people's projections, because everybody's got their shit and not everybody works through their shit. And so what happens is they are carrying their shit around, and then when somebody is reflecting something that's different than their shit, they want to take that and, and I'm like, nope, sorry, not interested in your shit. If you want to work on your shit consciously, contact me. I'm a hardcore healer. We do deep, powerful work, but you got to be willing to do the work, and you can't be lazy. I do not like lazy people. When I say lazy, I mean there's a lot of people that don't want to do the inner work. They want to keep projecting. That's so uncreative. So, have you ever been in a situation where you have been stuck somewhere or felt like you're wondering, why am I in this area? I don't even like it. Perhaps you are a starseed or a light worker, or your codes are online. Okay. We're doing service of the divine. And a lot of people get triggered, especially if they're fanatical, religious fanatics, because they think, oh, you're going against my God. Honey, I'm not going against any God. I am with the divine. If you want to interpret it that way, that's your interpretation. I choose not to say that word because I connect more with the word creator. And I know that a lot of scriptures have been written falsely from the manipulators, that the full truth has not been revealed. Okay? So, history will be rewritten. I promise you that. If it's in my lifetime, I don't know. But remember, history, including all religious texts, have been manipulated across the board. All religious texts. Okay? So use your discernment, connect with the divine, and know that if you're a person that is in a field where you're amongst a lot of people, one of our Starseed authors just got a job being an Uber driver, and she's awesome. And I told her, amazing, because her light's so bright. Her light was not meant to just be hidden. We have to interact with people. And a lot of starseeds are very independent. They realize that they have much more sensitive energy fields, therefore their energies can get affected. And so it's important to meditate. I was so exhausted last night, you guys. I just crashed out. But this morning I saged and meditated. We got to keep bringing the light through our body. So if you don't know what to do, just close your eyes, take a deep breath. You can ground your feet flat on the ground. Imagine a cord dropping down from your tailbone all the way into earth, going through the many, many layers until it gets to a crystal core in the middle of the earth. Wrap that grounding cord around and just feel yourself anchored. A lot of people feel ungrounded with these energies. And now we're going to ask that the light come down through our crown chakras, through all of our chakras. Taking a deep breath. All the way down to our toes. Washing and cleansing our energy field. And we ask that anything that doesn't belong in our field get sent back to the source, the creator of all that is, that we don't need to carry anything that doesn't belong. This is taking a light bath. And as this beautiful luminous light from the creator comes down through our crown, feel the lightness, feel it in your fingers, in your toes, in your knees, through your heart, your stomach, relaxing you, grounding you, releasing any burdens, any stress. Ask the Creator to take all of this now. I always ask the Creator to take a vacuum, energetic vacuum, and vacuum my field, vacuum my chakras from any debris, sometimes, a lot of times for me, a lot of waywards come around because they feel the light and they're looking for the light. So I ask that any waywards be vacuumed back to source so they can find their way home. Any energy cords that don't belong to me get released and get sent back to source. Anything that doesn't belong to me, take it back to source and put it in the lost and found, bring it back to wherever it needs to go. I trust the Creator knows where everything belongs. I'm just taking a deep, beautiful breath. I'm here to serve my highest purpose. It is not for me or others to judge what this is. I choose to follow the path of the divine. I am aligned, I am aligned, I am aligned. And so it is, and so be it. And you bring my hands here to my third eye, to my heart, and then my solar plexus chakra. This helps to close that so that it's not like an open portal. Thank you, Creator. It is my joy to be of service. And I'm just going to say this disclaimer. Being of service doesn't mean you need to suffer. Being of service doesn't mean you need to be in poverty. Being in service doesn't mean you can't charge for your services. Being of service doesn't mean you have to sacrifice. Okay, those days are over. Okay? And see how much lighter and brighter it became. So my loves, sending you so much love from Prague. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you want me to make any videos. I love connecting with you even in this way. You're divine. Never forget that. Never believe the illusion that you're less than divine. You have a soul purpose. You have a starseed purpose. And I'm so glad that you tuned in. Our book, Awakening Starseeds, is out now. I'll put the link below. If you'd like to be in the second volume, let me know, and we'll schedule an interview. Much love. Mwah.